Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today and thank you for your support. Today, I'm honored to be able to talk about the Impex release of Barbra Streisand live at the Soir. This is a review that almost didn't happen. Back when this came out, I was just in the midst of starting the channel and I couldn't afford the release at the time. Recently, it came up in a conversation I had with John, my friend John, who I've mentioned on the channel many times. John calls me every once in a while. We talk about all the latest releases he's picked up. And he's going through all his jazz and rock titles. And he says, oh, and Barbra Streisand live at the Soir, Impex. And I was like, wait, John, I had no idea you were a Barbra Streisand fan. He kind of sheepishly said, yeah, I like her. I like Impex, you know. And I said, okay, John. Okay, John. John, you need to send me that record right now. I want to review it for the channel. And I'm a big Barbra Streisand fan. I have no problem admitting it. And I've collected all of her albums up until the mid-70s at least. And have wonderful original pressings of all of them. The Barbra Streisand album. The second Barbra Streisand album. The third Barbra Streisand album, the third album. She didn't like titles. She liked this simple, elegant font as well, which she kind of made her own. And so on. The public really bought a lot of these records. They're not that hard to find. This is the original label. So if you go to search these out, try to find the original Columbia 2i label, and you'll get a taste of the excitement that surrounded Barbra Streisand at this time. And when you hear this tape, this record set, you will know exactly why she was the talk of the town. Let's go into the history a little bit here before we look at the release. Barbra was appearing on Broadway in I Can Get It For You Wholesale as Miss Marmalstein. Her number stopped the show. Broadway was abuzz with the name Barbra Streisand. After her performance at the theater, she would go down to this little club in Greenwich Village called the Soir to do her nightclub performance. It's a special moment in time, 1962, right on the cusp of becoming well known, and insiders knew about her already, but the public at large didn't. And the people that went to this club to see her were Broadway denizens, people in the music industry, and so forth, all there to hear about this new star and what she was doing in her nightclub performance. Columbia Records had signed her recently, but hadn't done anything with her yet. They hadn't put out an album. And they decided to bring their recording equipment to the Soir to record this performance with the intention of releasing it as her first album. So it's a professional recording done in a very small venue, but they captured the magic of the moment on this tape. However, they decided that instead they were going to release a studio album as their first album. So a lot of these songs that were done at this show appear on the first album. And this is what the public got. That tape was shelved and sat in the vault for 60 years. It only came out once when Barbra released a couple of snippets on her career retrospective for the record. We got to hear a couple of tracks, I believe. And it wasn't until the 60-year anniversary that Barbra decided the time was right to release the entire performance. She contacted Impex, or Impex contacted them. I don't know which way it went, but whatever it was, it's a marriage made in heaven. Impex is perfect to do this kind of release. A historic recording, a little restoration, beautiful presentation, and so forth. They're perfectionists, just as Barbra is. And what a great choice of company to do this. The release is gorgeous. Beautiful heavy gatefold, 2-record set, 180 gram pressings. I believe they're done at RTI. Excellent artwork as usual for Impex. Custom labels, which I'll show you in a close-up. A nice booklet that has a lot of history about different aspects of this recording and everything leading up to it. A really good breakdown of the songs, which is important. The songs were carefully chosen by Barbra to present all of her talent in this performance. When I first started listening to the Barbra Streisand albums, like this, I was always like taken aback a little bit by the comedy numbers. They seemed a little out of place to me. Songs like Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, I thought it was kind of odd to sprinkle those into an album of such beautiful, beautiful ballads. But now I understand, after hearing this, why she chose that type of material to bring into the performance and into the albums. Right from the start, when you play this record, the first song seems like it's going to be one of those songs. It's a little thing about babies and storks and stuff. Just a little short prologue. And then she launches into this, My Name is Barbra. And I'm sure everyone's jaw dropped because the voice is absolutely gorgeous. And from that moment on, everyone is spellbound and in the palm of her hands. Beautiful ballads throughout, some of these little comedy numbers, and when you hear it in the context of the live performance, you understand why she chose these. It shows off a certain aspect of her talent, that comedic timing, that rapport with the audience. It just is a magical thing to hear their reaction to these songs and the between song banter, which reveals her personality, her quirky personality. And it's very, very charming, very nice. Besides those cuts, though, this is mostly filled with gorgeous singing. Songs like Right as the Rain, Cry Me a River, which was the old Julie London song. She took it to another level here, and it's become the standard for that song. Lover Come Back to Me. There's a very cute band introduction, which really reveals more of her personality. And then she goes into Soon It's Gonna Rain, a song that she kept in her repertoire for years. Beautiful, beautiful. When the Sun Comes Out, Happy Days Are Here Again. Actually, that reminds me, I did see her live once. It was a very special occasion, New Year's Eve, MGM Grand, supposedly to be her last performance. My partner and I at the time immediately ordered tickets. They were very expensive for the time, $300 each, and flew out to Las Vegas to see this. I'm so glad we did. I'm so glad we did. It was really interesting to see her in a large venue like that, but creating an intimate atmosphere. And the sets and the way she presented herself was like she was with friends. And this is kind of like that as well. It's intimate. It's like it's unlike anything you've ever heard. If you've only heard the studio albums, you really get a full view of her talent, of course, her singing, her musical comedy skills, her warm personality, and everything is revealed on this, which you don't really get on the studio albums. And for that, it's a very, very special release. The sound quality is excellent. They did some restoration work to it. It is from a digital file, but you would never know it. It sounds completely analog, and it sounds like perfection, in my opinion. The voice, of course, is the main thing. It's beautifully captured. The accompaniment is in the background, piano, sometimes a few other instruments, but that's not the focus. The focus is squarely on her and her interaction with the audience. You do hear the audience laughing and course, the applause and everything. And as the performance goes on, it gets more and more intense. And it's just a love affair with Barbra Streisand. What a wonderful experience to hear this. I can highly recommend this release. I'm so glad that I got to hear it and review it for you. And I'm going to be sad to give it back to John. Honestly, it's become my favorite Barbra Streisand album. As much as I love all the other output, there's a magic here that is not captured anywhere else. A special moment in time with a talent that's just on the cusp of exploding. And for that, it's a very, very special release. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, I'm Scott for The Pressing Matters. Have a great day.